How you doing?
Great.
Leonard, do you think this fight, Badou Jack and Marcus Browne, will steal the show?
Yeah, I think it has a very good chance. We all know that what the main event looks like, but when it comes to Badou and Marcus fight, I think that it's going to be a very competitive fight. It's going to be a very you got two guys who are very hungry, you know, and there are a lot of options out there in the light heavyweight division, and it's all about the timing. This bout being on a major pay-per-view card, it gives both guys a chance to really showcase that they are the best, they want to be the best, and make a great statement out there for all the fans across the world. So I think that fight actually has a very good chance of stealing the show. I like the fact that Marcus is very confident. Yeah. You know, like when you're in a big fight, you have to be. You know, and Badou, he's just kind of just even keel. We know he comes with his workmanlike approach to every fight, and he just puts in the work, and he has a tremendous amount of experience.
What about, the experience I want to talk about? He's fought so many guys in a row, champions, former champions, and now an undefeated top contender. How big of a role is that going to play in this fight, do you think?
Experience is everything in big fights. Because, believe it or not, when you're under those lights and there's 1,000 other things going through your mind and you have to perform and it's a big deal. And just being in big fights and going the distance with top guys and knowing how to break guys down, experience plays a role in any and everything you're doing in big fights.
He's got that great experience. He's 35. Do you think age could possibly catch up to Badou at all in this fight?
No, he's actually, the way I kind of look at it, 35 is kind of like the new 25. And that's kind of how he fights. You know, I'd like to see him in this particular fight get started a little quicker. They have a tremendous game plan. I think it's a competitive fight, but I think it's a fight that doesn't go the distance.
Oh, gotcha.
And I remember you said, like, you're a Badou Jack fan, not just a guy.
Big fan, in and out the ring.
Is he your favorite fighter in boxing right now, or who is?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Him and Gervonta Davis.
In the main event, I talked to Kevin Cunningham recently, and he said that Broner's been a model athlete. He's been on time, all the practices, all his training camps. Like, we've heard some stuff before in other camps, and he says he's really, like, motivated for this fight. What do you expect to see out of Broner in that fight against Pacquiao?
Man, I'm telling y'all, with this Manny Broner fight, this fight is going to be much more competitive than what people think it is. And say what you want about Broner, you know, with all the criticism that he's gotten in the past, he's deserved. And again, I mentioned that, you know, a lot of it's been self-inflicted. But when you have this kind of opportunity, you know, which is essentially an opportunity of a lifetime, he can immediately change the course of the way his career has gone thus far with the win over Manny Pacquiao. You know, and honestly, I think he has a very good chance to put. I'm not even gonna call it an upset. I'm not even gonna call it an upset. I think most people are the way most fans and the experts kind of have it. It's like a kind of 60-40. The way I just see it, it's a 50-50 fight. But I kind of favor Broner.
Do you think Broner will go into this fight taking Pacquiao lightly in any way?
Oh, absolutely not. How could he take Broner lightly? I think it could be the other way around.
I'm saying Broner taking Pacquiao lightly.
That's what I'm saying. There's no way. How you gonna take?
Because Pacquiao's not the same. I mean, he's still a great fighter, but he's not.
Yes, he is a great fighter. I'm not falling for that bullshit about that. You know, when a guy turns, it's all about his activity level. You know, the punishment that he's taken, and if he's preserved his body, he has a very clean lifestyle. You know, outside the ring, Manny Pacquiao. So he's a fresh 40, as I would say. You know, he's not. If you're looking for the. Hey, turn that down. Off.
Turn it off. Yo, Brock, turn that shit off.
What's next for Andrew to beat?
Hold on. I gotta finish answering this question. What was I saying?
Pacquiao's a fresh 40.
Yes.
You weren't buying the bullshit that he's over.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. And all that about his last fight about Matisse being, I'm not buying that. Because if it would have been the other round, Matisse would have stopped him or dropped him or something, then it would have been, the whole tone would have been different.
What about the other side where they're saying, Freddie Roach is saying Pacquiao's got the killer instinct back. He knocked out Matisse, first one in 8 years. He thinks he's back to like the old Pacquiao.
Well,
we know Freddie likes to talk though.
Yeah, Freddie does that. You can't bring back time.
Right.
That you can't do. And prior to the Matisse fight, he hadn't had a knockout in 9 years. Mm-hmm. But he's been very consistent with what he's done, in his fights.
A lot of guys down.
Yeah, he's been very consistent. I mean, all of a sudden he's not going to, switch up at 40. He's a very aggressive, relentless fighter who throws a lot of punches from different angles, who has a tremendous amount of experience, and who's beat a number of great fighters, and who's a future Hall of Famer. And who is eager to mix it up with any and everybody. That's what Manny Pacquiao brings to the table. But in this particular fight, I think that it just comes down to the timing of the fight. A win is taking place in their careers, and Adrien, again, you say what you want. He just has to really find a way to win a fight, and this is a big fight. And I think the timing that when they're fighting, and then what both guys know what's at stake, and essentially, in my own personal opinion, I think it's a must-win for both guys. Mm-hmm. Not that either one, if they take a loss, that their career is all over. I'm not remotely saying anything of that nature. But what I'm saying, I think it's a must-win for what both guys personally want to accomplish, what's left in their careers.
Leonard, just back to age for a second when it comes to fighters. Isn't it possible that even just guys like Manny and Floyd, even when they lose a step, they can still beat everybody else? Because Floyd said his A+ game was really the Gotti night. And in those last years, he wasn't really the same Floyd Mayweather. So I just want to know, isn't it possible that Pacquiao has lost a step? He's just still really good.
Again, you can't defy time. We all when we get older, we tend to not, move the same. I can't run as fast as I used to. I can't do a whole lot of things, as good as I used to, but I can still do them effectively. And that's just, Father Time. He just catches up with you. But these guys were on such another level. You know what I mean? Those two, Manny and Floyd, was so much better than everybody else over this last decade or so that, it's like,
And Manny recently said if he gets to win like he plans, if Floyd wants the rematch, it'll happen. Obviously, meaning that Manny wants it. Do we have a realistic chance of that happening, or is Floyd done, or what do you think?
This is just my personal opinion. Mm-hmm. Everybody seems to have a script already wrote that, this is the setup to Floyd. And I'm telling you guys, is that he's retired, but if he changes his mind, which he's entitled to do, right, then he'll let everybody know. But as of right now, he could afford him if that's what he wanted to do right now. He could have done that. He didn't. And then there's all these crazy stories out there. He just wanted to see what. None of that makes any sense. Is that Floyd's just not. I don't think he's interested. I know he has no juices for boxing. For the fighting part. When you've done this for your entire life, ever since you were a little kid, and that's all you've done, dedicated your entire life to that, and now some of the fighters are starting to see what it takes and how successful and why he's been so successful for so long, because it takes so much other than just having an incredible passion for boxing to succeed at this level. Again, there's levels to this. Just look what he's accomplished in his career, especially the latter part of his career. As far as generating the revenue, beating the type of guys that he's been, and essentially putting boxing back on the map. You know, I can't speak enough that, you know, he was the one that, you know, prior to, you know, in the 90s when Tyson was getting 30 a fight, and, you know, but he was a heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? But now, when Floyd changed the game about the way, the mindset of the fighters, thinking, you know, like it's also a business, then that just kind of changed the game. It really changed the game. I don't think he gets enough credit for those kind of things, you know, where the fighters are making the most that they've ever made. Ever made.
Well, and even retired, no one brings speculation in the media and fans more than Floyd Mayweather.
With the least little thing. The least little thing. I mean, it's the star power. But it's taking so many years. I had this conversation actually with Adrien last night. It was like we were talking about Floyd's first pay-per-view fight, 2005, obviously with Gotti. You know, we were essentially 9 years in. You know, Adrien turned pro in 08.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, 08. So this is his first pay-per-view fight. You know, 11 years. So, and by no means comparing the two of them, but timing is everything. Timing is everything. You know, sometimes it takes, for whatever reasons, guys to get to that mountaintop. You know, and I think Adrien has a very good chance to, and I'm not even gonna call it an upset. I'm not gonna call it an upset because I think it's just about the timing that these guys are meeting up in their careers.
Manny is like, he's chasing a ghost essentially, trying to have a fight with Floyd. But does that motivation, could we see a better Manny Pacquiao than we did the past couple years because he's chasing that ghost?
That's a great question. I think so, because let's take the Floyd element out of it because Floyd's not part of the equation. He's retired. Look at the guys and the options that he has if he can get past Broner. You know, each and every one of those fights with the current, you know, landscape of the welterweights out there, I don't count him out in any of those fights. You know, I think that the Spence fight would be a little rougher, you know, but Manny seems to think that he could beat him too. You know what I'm saying? So, and I know for a fact that with all the other welterweights, he would be very competitive and he wouldn't be an underdog in my eyes.
When it comes to Broner, in his 3 losses, did you feel he just lost to the better fighters, or did he beat himself a little bit in any of those fights?
Not taking anything away from any of the other guys because he fought the 3 losses that he had, they were excellent fighters, especially Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia has had a phenomenal career and will continue to have a great career. We all saw what happened in that fight, and then the Sean Porter fight, you know, where we all saw that he gave away the earlier rounds. He came on strong at the end and he dropped Sean, which surprised everybody. And then obviously with the Madonna fight. But one thing that he's shown he has great heart. And he'll be the first to say, and he said this over and over, that he hadn't given himself the best chance to be successful. You know, because anytime a guy has that kind of God-given ability, and you kind of don't really make the most of it, you know, and then people kind of, they disrespect you a lot and you know, because of your performances or whatever. But just imagine, if you were him, you got all that bottled up. I know for a fact that he's giving himself the best chance because he's in the best shape of his life. What if he wins?